My question is this. 50 years ago, the Thatcher Revolution was driven by intellectual giants like Joseph.
Here's Esther Mcvey answering questions after a speech promoting the idea that the Conservatives are pushing common sense at the heart of government. She's about to say something which embarrassingly stretches any credible fact. But first, let's hear the rest of the gentleman's question.
Where are these intellectual giants now within the Conservative Party? What I see is a lot of shallowness. And I'm sorry to say this, one of the examples is like GB News. We don't want policies to be driven by those kind of people. We want serious people, giants like, I don't see any evidence of that. So what's your view of this? What are the key Josephs
okay.
of that?
Now hold on to your hats. Listen to this.
So I would say Rishi Sunak is an intellectual giant. Absolutely. I know you're shaking your head, but I would say absolutely he is. And he was giving it sort of rigour and intellectual rigour in what he's delivering there.
Rishi Sunak, an intellectual giant. What a joke.
What I would say, because I think it's wrong to say in a different era everybody was much of a higher calibre than they are now. I don't agree with that.
Whether or not there are more or less intellectual thinkers is up for debate. But as the person asking the question referenced GB News, I think that's a perfect example of a pervasive dumbing down of politics with the use of culture wars and diversive rhetoric.
But what I will say, I think the difficulty of sometimes social media and the barracking and the haranguing politicians get, sometimes it cowers them from what they would ordinarily have done, what they would ordinarily maybe have said, what they would like to have pursued, because they feel they can't.
But then, on the other hand, it's also provided a platform for certain politicians and commentators to peddle a lot of nonsense that really does very little to help the average person, instead playing to their fears and prejudices to gain their support.
Actually, I think, if anything, it is, which we've seen a lot about, sort of abuse and haranguing, and I think that has dimmed their brilliance. It's not that their brilliance isn't there.
Click here for Esther's speech at the Centre for Policy Studies.